Hey, what's up? Jason here. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make that little date widget in an activity feed that shows you the number of minutes, days, or hours, or whatever you want ago a record was created. So stuff that you see on LinkedIn activity feeds and Facebook and stuff like that. I am going to do an activity feed tutorial. Drop a comment if you want me to move that up in the rotation. Probably in a couple of weeks I'm going to do it. So if you're watching this in the future, then you've probably already seen it. Anyway, I use activity feeds on a lot of my sites because they're SaaS based, and there's usually one of my sites I've got 12,000 users, the other one there's a few hundred, but basically it's just showing a list of records that have been created, and this is getting customized based on the date calculation. So if I go over to another client record here, so this is an activity feed that shows activity that clients are doing. So if I were to go in and add something else, you will see this updated in real time. There. So this is another one that I just did just right now. So let's get into how this thing is constructed. So I've got a repeating group, and this just grabs a list of things from the activity feed. The activity feed item is a reusable object, and I'm using nested reusable objects to create this. So this is just taking the current cell's activity feed and passing it to this reusable element. And inside that reusable element is another reusable element, which is just the days ago widget that I'm using. So this is an activity feed item, and it's just passing this reusable element the creation date. Now, I did make a mistake by using the creation date. I'm going to switch that over to a dedicated date field, because if I ever want to repopulate the activity field, say I add 5 activities and I want to refresh it, I can't do that by using the creation date, because it's always going to stamp the date based on the record being created, and I don't want that. Otherwise, it's going to show all thousands of my records were created just now. So definitely use a separate date for this. Okay, so let's get into how this date is constructed. I've got mine set up to process the date for minutes ago, then hours, then days ago, then just show the date, and then a couple of nice little cleanup things. So it's important you do it in this order, because Bubble is going to process your conditions in a linear way. It's going to pick the last condition that is true. So for all the calculations, I'm using the current date, and I'm subtracting the date that gets passed to this reusable element, and I'm using the formatted as value to control the minutes ago, hours ago, or days ago. So this one I'm formatting by hours, and if it's less than 1 hour, I know it's under an hour. So I now want to take that calculation but format it as minutes and put minutes ago here. The hour one is basically the same, but there's 2 conditions. So I'm using formatted as hours because I want to know if it's greater than 1 hour but less than 25 hours. And I'm using the floor operator here. And what is that is doing is it's rounding down that value. So if it's 24.1 hours, it's going to round it down to 24, and it's going to say 24 hours ago. Now I do correct that in the other condition here with the days ago condition. So basically I'm doing the calculation, formatting it as hours, using the floor value again, and if it's greater than 24, then show days ago. Now I don't need to do greater than 24 or less than whatever for this, because I have a catch-all here that if the calculation formatted as days is greater than 7, I just want to show the date. I don't want to show a week ago, a month ago. You could, but I don't want to. I'm just going to show the actual date value here. And then for some of the other things that I showed on screen, these are just some of the nice little cleanup bits. So basically, if the calculation is sometime between 1 hour and 2 hours, show 1 hour ago instead of 1 hours ago. So if I didn't have this condition here, if that calculation was between 1 and 2 hours, it would say 1 hours ago based on this condition up here. So just a nice little thing. The next one is I'm showing the word yesterday. So same calculation, formatted as days. I'm using the floor operator again. And if it is 1, then say it was created yesterday. And the last one that I'm doing is just now. And this is because I noticed there was a couple of instances where it would say -1 minutes ago, just based on how the record gets added to the database and when it gets displayed on the site. So now basically, if I'm formatting this as minutes and it's less than 0, put just now, and that is what is making that days ago activity feed. So remember to hit like and subscribe. You get notified when that activity feed video is out, and drop me a comment below if you've got questions. Thanks for checking it out.